We required it more than you did. Kyle chuckled from across the space, as if he hadn't just emptied $120,000 from my savings. I'm Rebecca Mitchell. I'm 34 years old. And I created my small shop from scratch. That cash, it represented my tomorrow, my vision, my whole world, and my sister's husband took it all. He didn't even blink, just grinned. But he overlooked one detail. I might be related, but I don't hold back. I stared right at him and stated, then you won't object to what follows. 2 hours on, the police burst through the entrance. Have you ever been let down by your own relatives? Share in the comments. And remember to like and subscribe if you think justice flows through the bloodline. Raised in Portland, I was the dependable child. My folks managed a simple hardware shop, and while my little sister Allison chased after gatherings and fame in her youth, I stashed every cent from my seasonal work. After university, I toiled for 3 years at a big retail company before at last starting Mitchell Designs. My personal store centered on eco-friendly, community-crafted apparel. I left my secure position with only $5,000 saved and a spirit brimming with drive. The initial 2 years almost shattered me. Long 18-hour shifts, noodle meals, pouring back every dime. I kept things simple so my venture could endure. Then disaster struck. An intoxicated motorist ignored a stop signal and took both our parents' lives. The sorrow tore me apart. I immersed myself in my job. Allison left school, stumbled through meaningless positions. When the inheritance was divided, we each received $75,000. I put mine into my business. Allison. She encountered Kyle at a gambling spot and wed him after half a year. I disliked him right away, a charming speaker with gelled hair, an overly showy timepiece, and a patronizing manner. Your sibling's place is charming. He'd mocked at their ceremony, but true wealth comes from ventures. Kyle controlled every setting. And Allison? She transformed, became softer, submissive, always gauging his response before speaking. She ceased phoning. When I did meet her, she grinned with her lips, but never her gaze. Then arrived the gathering. The lake house had belonged to our kin for ages. I'd recently locked in a new spot for my shop, and the $120,000 in my funds was set aside for growth. 5 years of effort, toil, and dedication, ready to flourish. I didn't realize the folks I considered kin were already scheming to seize everything. I reached the lake house on Friday evening, spirit buoyant with optimism. My enterprise was thriving. My supplier credit had just been approved. The additional shop was truly happening. Cousin Emma greeted me at the pier, beaming, but her tone lowered. Allison and Kyle arrived sooner. Just prepare yourself. Through the mesh entrance, I caught Kyle's voice prior to spotting him. Booming, bragging. Something regarding a property deal that would multiply anyone's investment. Allison welcomed me with a brief embrace, addressing me as Becca like in the past, but her glance shifted anxiously to Kyle. The business owner shows up. He grinned, lifting a Scotch tumbler, still moving enough outfits to pay the bills. I grinned stiffly. In fact, we're growing. Just inked the rental agreement in the city center. In this market? He jeered. Later that evening, I headed to my quarters to review some messages. I spotted it right away. My computer had been shifted, the cable connected to another socket, just a bit. Wrong, I paused. I lifted it, checked the weblog. Empty. But then the notification appeared. Fresh sign-in try, unsuccessful, from an unknown gadget. My instinct tightened. Someone had attempted to enter my profile in the last 60 minutes while I was assisting with meal setup. I updated all codes, activated dual verification, and secured my gadgets. But the unease in my belly remained. The following day, I arose to disorder. Claire, my associate in the venture, phoned in alarm. Rebecca, the supplier transaction failed. It indicates not enough balance. I dashed to my finance application. My hands trembled, verifying 0 balance, reserves, 0 balance, company funds, 0, vanished, all of it. $120,000. Disappeared, moved during the night to an unfamiliar profile. It wasn't an error. It wasn't a breach. It was someone within this home, someone who understood precisely what to do. And my sibling's spouse was seated in the cooking area, drinking Java, as if all was normal. My expression must have been ashen when I entered the cooking space. Discussions halted abruptly. My funds are missing, I declared, tone empty. Every bit Uncle Robert rose. What do you mean missing? I displayed my device. More than $120,000 withdrawn during the night. Moves to a profile I don't know, sharp breaths, whispers. Emma hurried to my position. Only 2 individuals remained quiet. Allison gazing into her brew, and Kyle, limbs folded, expression blank. Have you contacted the financial institution? Emma murmured. I did, immediately on broadcast. The agent's tone was steady, professional. Yes, Miss Mitchell. Multiple moves happened beginning at 11:42 p.m., concluding at 4:15 a.m. from a familiar gadget in sight. A shiver spread across the area. Your code and safety queries were input accurately. That struck like a blow. This wasn't mere scam. It was disloyalty, personal, planned disloyalty. Someone had utilized my computer, my connection, my entry. My gaze fixed on Kyle. You were close to my computer yesterday. Did you enter my space? Allison leaped to shield him at once. Are you blaming my spouse? Kyle grinned gradually. Your sibling's suspicious. Perhaps your associate botched the money. Then reveal your financial records, I dared, if you're so stable monetarily. His grin flickered, just a touch. I don't need to demonstrate anything to you. Oh, truly, I advanced. Because if you weren't involved, you'd be yelling more than anybody here. Allison's fingers shook now. She avoided my eyes. Kyle strengthened his hold on her side like a restraint, and then he uttered it, chilly, arrogant. We required it more than you. The space exploded. Uncle Robert yelled. Emma inhaled sharply. Aunt Patricia began weeping. I didn't. I was already grabbing my satchel. Then you won't object to what follows, I stated, my tone firm as metal. The instant I seized my device, Kyle charged. You're not summoning the authorities, he growled, stretching for my arm. Uncle Robert positioned himself in between, solid. Step away, Kyle. Emma drew me back. Allison recoiled, complexion wan, not merely frightened but horrified. Allison, I said softly, what's truly happening? She parted her lips, but Kyle interrupted. We're finished. Grab your things, we're departing. You're not leaving until I retrieve every penny, I retorted, or I promise I'll have you detained before you reach the path. Kyle chuckled. Best of luck. That cash is gone, transferred, hidden, you'll never locate it. That's when the sharp noise shook the residence. The main entrance swung wide. Police, all remain in place. 2 officers in uniform came in, trailed by a casually dressed lady showing her identification. Rebecca Mitchell, she inquired. I affirmed, I'm Detective Harmon with Portland PD. We got a scam warning connected to your profiles. Kyle turned ashen. This is a mix-up, she halted him. We possess proof from your institution's digital security group, profile shifts, gadget identifiers, and your image, Mr. Henderson. His lips moved, but no sound emerged. I retrieved my device. I added protection program last year following a breach effort. It captures pictures during entry tries, monitors inputs, even logs entry details. I passed the device to Harmon. Here, I said. Sharp photos of Kyle operating my computer. Time marks. Network aligns, you'll discover all. Kyle's facade crumbled. You framed me. No, I replied steadily. I safeguarded myself. There's a distinction. As the officers restrained him, he yelled at Allison. You believe you're secure? You're worthless without me. She moved ahead, tone quivering but resolute. I was worthless to you. Without you, I can at last be who I am. Detective Harmon glanced at me. With this level of proof, you'll probably reclaim most of the taken money. And crucially, he won't injure others. For the initial time and days, I permitted myself to breathe out. It wasn't finished, but I had triumphed in the opening clash. 1 month on, I positioned myself in the gentle dawn glow of my additional shop. Operational, flourishing, secure. Mitchell Designs had endured. Not due to fortune, but because I was prepared. Because I followed my intuition. And because I declined to allow disloyalty shape me. The institution reclaimed 97% of the money. The remainder protected by scam coverage. But funds were never the greatest triumph. It was Allison. She relocated with me, initiated separation, and signed up for classes again. The darkness beneath her eyes has started to lift. She chuckles once more. She cooks once more. She's recovering. She shared something last evening as we sliced produce like we did with Mother. You were courageous for defending what you created, Becca. I aim to be courageous enough to reconstruct myself. And she is. Kyle admitted guilt to scam, pressure, and persona theft. He'll remain incarcerated for a lengthy period. But his influence ceased the day Allison rose and declared, I'm finished being scared. Last weekend, we went back to the lake house, not for a meeting, but a fresh start. The entire kin contributed to refresh, fix, and retake the area that nearly destroyed us. And we established new guidelines. True kin safeguards, not controls. If you've ever needed to remove a harmful relative to defend what you cherish, I recognize you. Leave a note if you've ever stated sufficient. And if you're still mustering the strength, take some of mine. Because relations don't grant anyone the right to shatter you. And at times, endurance is the strongest form of affection.